Alright, it's metal making time. Steel texture. I'm actually going to be using this in a little bit different manner, so I'm not really worried about stealing any steel. Get it? Because it's taking somebody else's picture. Even though that's an arbitrary statement nowadays, I think. You know, a photo is a photo, if you want to be that petty. But you'll see that this comes out all right in a wash. As a disclaimer, I'm not buying, selling, stealing, or making profit off this in any manner. It's just for educational purposes only. So here's a steel texture that looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it over in Photoshop in a new document. Oh, no. In here, barbed wire TIFF, which is actually open barbed wire TGA. There we go. And it's going to go in this little white box right here. So I'm going to put it on a new layer so I don't screw it up. Paste. Alright, then I'm going to shrink it down and I'm going to get it more to scale of the objects. In other words, really freaking small. Okay, I'm going to lose a lot of resolution that way. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so it's just going to be this scratchy noise. I'm going to go filter and then sharpen, smart sharpen, and sharpen this up a little bit. It's better to go too contrasty because it loses a lot of the actual texture resolution in game. And then I'm going to do something special. First I'll duplicate this so I don't screw that one up. And then I'm going to take the eraser tool and go to chalk, which is this one right here. Then I'm going to go to Window, Brush, and set my shape dynamics to angle jitter 100%. This will make the brush rotate over and over and over again. Not using any special Wacom tablet for this, even though I have one. I'm just using a mouse. Okay, so what I'm doing is trimming around the outside edge and making this just like that. Okay, why did I do that? Well, you'll see. Oh, I missed a spot. Okay, then I'm going to plop it here in the corner and use Alt to copy it and just kind of paste it around. And if you want to kill the monotony, you can go like this. But that takes a couple seconds, so I would... This is going to be a really small texture, so I'm not really worried about those little tiny nuances that might appear in it. If you look at galvanized pressed steel, you'll find that it has these little patches in there anyway. A lot of times I'll just rotate it because I'm bored with it already. Ah, that stupid center thing. Who thought up that? And don't give me a technical answer for that, you two people. That's just too funny. It was from Philip J. Jacobheimer. Alright, so here we go. Control E to merge all these down. Control E, tons of these. One more. Perfect. Alright. So now I have all this steel, and what I want to do is use this layer to use the magic wand, and then I'll go to this layer, turn it back on, and go select inverse and delete. Then I'll do a select inverse again and go over to the channel alpha 1 and make sure I fill this with 100% white. Okay, so 255, 255, 255 all across the board, and click. Whoops. Alpha. Paint's fine. Okay, I'll paint it. Oh, because I had that checkerboard pattern. Nice. Yeah, from the last video. Gotcha. So there, everything white is opaque and everything black is transparent, and that's why I had to do this little number. So now I have kind of two materials in the same material. I have steel, and then I have the barbed wire. One's going to be a transparent, one's going to be opaque. Now I really like to add a little bit of grunge to this, so I'm going to go get some grunge. What's grunge? What is he talking about with grunge? Rust, grunge, something like that. Rust, texture. I just need a kind of a rusty steel, very, very, this might work good. Has a little bit, pretty big pits on it, but I'm going to copy it anyway. Okay, paste that into a new layer. Deselect first, and then edit paste. And I didn't let it load all the way. Let's go back. Copy the image. Paste. There we go. And the only thing I'm using this for is to kind of give it some variation of color. And all of these are pretty horrible. So very lightly, just a little bit, just a skosh. That's all I want that for. Save as, and I'll save this as a TGA, and this is called barbed wire texture, and save that out. It's going to have the 32-bit for the alpha, and then back into Maya. Alright, now a little texture switching trick. Go to Hypershade. First off, chain link, oh no, barbed wire needs to be updated, so I'll double click that. Go into the texture node, which is this one right here. Go down and hit reload just to make sure. Then I'm going to right click on this one and say select objects with material, and then click on this one. Oops. Then right click on this one and assign existing material to the selection, thereby tricking the system into submitting the new material onto it. Now you're going to see that some of this is transparent because of the simple fact of transparency sorting within Maya, and that's okay. It's only here in Maya that we have to put up with that. But other than that, this piece is done. It has some noise going on. Now if you don't like the value of that noise, we can always darken it or whatever back in Photoshop. So let me just show you what that looks like. Merge down. So if I want that to look maybe a little darker, I could just go Image, Adjustments, Exposure, and take it and expose it down just a little bit. I don't want to go too dark because you want to state what the original material looks like, not what it looks like at night. That's for you to decide via lighting, not by texture. So that looks a little bit better, more toned down. And it matches well with the metal of the chain link. Okay. Again, pay no attention to the transparent parts. Those are going to be transparent. Good deal. Alright, now that we've got this all the way textured and everything else, we are going to go to the next step, which is turning it into a usable game asset, because right now this would be a straight shot and what we need is a corner piece, and we got to figure out how we're going to do that with this right here, because if we put this on a corner, technically it's not going to work all that well. It will be missing one of these, and these aren't going to match up. So we're going to have to figure out how to bend these as via texture. We're also going to have to figure out how to bend this alpha around, so when they are around the corner, they do connect. All that good stuff in the next video.